Dell's XPS 13 has remained our favorite consumer laptop for the past few years, thanks to its beautiful nearly borderless display, lightweight and sleek aesthetic. Now, after multiple generations of sticking with the same chassis, Dell's premium flagship has a new design with slimmer dimensions and a beautiful white and gold color scheme. In other improvements, the XPS 13 9370 also offers an optional 4K display, a better webcam, support for eGPUs and a cooling system that promises stronger sustained performance. However, to make its laptop thinner, Dell switched to a smaller battery and got rid of USB Type-A ports. As a result, some users will prefer the older XPS 13 9360, which is still for sale and is powered by the same Intel 8th Gen Core CPUs. Unfortunately, when slimming the XPS 13 down to 0.46 inches, Dell had to ditch the standard USB Type-A ports and full-size SD card reader that appeared on all the previous generations. On the left side of the XPS 13 9370, you'll find two Thunderbolt 3 ports, which can charge the laptop or connect to high-speed peripherals. There's also an oval lock slot and a battery gauge, which shows the charge level on a series of 5 white lights. The XPS 13 Infinity Edge display has bezels that are 23% thinner than the almost non-existent borders on the XPS 7360. Because there's virtually no frame around the top and sides of the screen, images just seem to pop more. The test from the Dell XPS 13 9370 with both a 3840 by 2160 touchscreen and a 1920 by 1080 non-touch screen. Both models offered impressive brightness, color quality and sharpness, though the 4K screen was noticeably better. When I watched the 4K movie Tears of Steel, the neon pink and green lights impressed on both displays, but were richer on the Ultra HD panel. Fine details, such as the wires on a robot's body and the wrinkles in a character's jacket, stood out on both panels, and colors stayed true, even at 90 degrees to the left or right. The side-mounted speakers deliver audio that's loud, but rough around the edges. When I played AC/DC's Back in Black, the music was boisterous enough to more than fill our lab, but the guitar and drums were a little harsh and tinny. The keyboard offers a solid typing experience, even though the keys are a little on the shallow side. Perhaps because the laptop is so thin, the keys have 1.2 mm of travel. 1.5 to 2 mm is common on mainstream laptops, but they make up for it somewhat by providing a good 72 grams of required actuation force. On the 10fastfingers.com typing test, I reached a modest rate of 94 words per minute with a 4% error rate, which is on the low end of my normal range. For this review, we tested two different configurations of the XPS 13 9370. The high-end model sported a Core i7 8550U CPU, 16 GB of RAM, a 1 TB SSD and a 4K touchscreen, while the mainstream model had a Core i5 8250U processor, 8 GB of RAM, a 256 GB SSD and a 1080p non-touch screen. From surfing the web to light gaming and writing portions of this review, both versions of the XPS 13 9370 handled everything we threw at them, without a hiccup. With its integrated Intel UHD 620 GPU, the XPS 13 9370 is good enough for doing light video editing or playing some games at low settings. Its Core i7 and Core i5 powered models scored 85,616 and 77,584, respectively, on 3-day Mark Ice Storm Unlimited, a synthetic graphics test. Both models were far ahead of the category average, 62,573, the HP Spectre 13, 75,114, and the X1 Carbon, 68,082. The XPS 13 9360 fell in between the two with a mark of 81,837. No matter which Dell XPS 13 9370 configuration you choose, you'll get above average battery life, but a model with a 1080p non-touch screen lasts several hours longer. The XPS 13 9370 with 1080p non-touch screen lasted 12 hours and 37 minutes on the laptop battery test, which involves continuous surfing over Wi-Fi. The model with the 4K display endured for 8 hours and 53 minutes. Those numbers compare favorably to the ultra-portable category average, 8:16, and the HP Spectre 13's time of 6:16. Both XPS 13 9370 configurations we tried stayed pleasantly cool throughout our testing. After streaming a video for 15 minutes, the touchpad, keyboard and bottom of the Core i7-powered model hit 82, 86.5 and 88 degrees Fahrenheit, all well below our 95-degree comfort threshold. The Core i5 model got similar temperatures of 80, 85.5 and 88 degrees. With the XPS 13 9370, Dell has moved the webcam from the lower left corner of the bezel to the center bottom. Dell preloads the XPS 13 9370 with a few useful utilities and some bloatware. Dell Power Manager lets you tweak the system settings for maximum performance, with more heat and noise, coolest skin temperature, quietest fan noise or a balance among the three. Dell Help and Support offers tutorials and warrant information. Dell Support Assist checks system health, shows configuration information and helps you download new drivers. Dell Remote Desktop lets you remote control the laptop from another device. Dell will offer several configurations of the XPS 13 9370, with prices ranging from $999 to well over $2,000. The $999 base model has a 1080p non-touch screen, a Core i5 8250U CPU, 4 GB of RAM and a 128 GB SSD. The white model costs $50 more. From its eye-popping 4K display to its speedy performance and beautiful design, there's a lot to love about the Dell XPS 13 9370. Although still not ideal, its centered webcam is a huge improvement over the left-aligned one on prior models. The 9370's ability to work with eGPUs also makes it a great choice for people who want to play demanding games.